Hey everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and as you know, we were just introduced to the character of Snowstorm. And while she's very good, a lot of you guys are asking me, Joey, I think it's time to do some kind of reveal because that voice sounds so familiar. I've been pondering over this for a few days. Can you please reveal who is under the mask of the Snowstorm? And guess what? We're going to do that right now. We're going to go through the clues, the pitch correct audio, and more. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get started. So for those who don't know, we've had Snowstorm for only one episode, okay? It has been a very, very hard season of The Masked Singer because every single week, because of the way they're doing the reveals, how there's 2 a week, we have been trying to reveal people based off of just one episode of the show. And I mean, granted, we still haven't gotten anyone wrong this year, but it's always so hard because you're so under pressure because you don't know what's going to happen next week. You know, for all we know, Snowstorm can make it to the semifinals or be revealed next week. And so that gives us just a few days to sit down, look at the clues, and figure out who's under the mask. And so, with the Snowstorm, 1 week of clues, and we're going to reveal this person. First, we're going to go through the clues. We're going to listen to the pitch correct audio. I'll tell you my guess, and then I'll go ahead and answer all of the clues. Now, with the Snowstorm, I have to admit, she gave us some really good clues in her actual clue package. Sometimes they just ramble on, there's one or two things, but this person definitely told us a lot. So this is what she said. Hey y'all, let me tell you something funny. You gotta be cold-blooded. So becoming Snowstorm actually makes sense for me. And while I could be a total bee lizard, a bee, if you kind of get that right there, when I want to, I swear I'm the sweetest thing. I started working when I was 18, and it took a tight 2 years to see myself on screen. Because being a woman, I had to snowplow my way into a male-dominated industry. Things haven't always been pitch perfect. I've had some failures, but bombing widely has made me feel it. This song goes out to my favorite fearless lady, Nicole, who's had more famous actions than Nick has had baby mamas, which is obviously a very funny dig. Now, we did have some visual clues, chestnuts, speed dating sign, comic book, and a welcome mat. And then the clue that we got for John Lovitz was that this person had been on the screen with Rob Lowe and our own Ken. Now, those are all the clues they gave us. I'm going to go ahead and give you the pitch correct audio. For those who don't know what pitch correct audio is, every single week we get these clue packages. And in these clue packages, it's the real celebrity speaking. But Fox is smart. They're like, you know what, guys? We can't let people hear the real voices because if we do, people are going to recognize it. So they take that audio, they speed it up, they pitch it up. That way you have no idea who it is. Now, I'm an executive audio producer in New York City, where it's my job to make audio sound good. So when it comes to The Masked Singer and listening to the audio, I figured, I could slow it down and pitch correct it. That way we can hear the real celebrity voice. And so that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to play some of the original audio that they gave us, and then I'll play my full pitch correct audio. Take a listen.
Hey y'all, let me tell you something funny. To do what I do, you gotta be cold-blooded.
Hey y'all, let me tell you something funny. To do what I do, you gotta be cold-blooded. So becoming Snowstorm actually makes sense for me. And while I can be a total bee lizard when I wanna be, I swear I am just the sweetest thing. I started working when I was 18, and it took a tight 2 years to see myself on the screen. Because being a woman, I've had to snowplow my way into a male-dominated industry. Things haven't always been pitch perfect. I've had some failures, but bombing wildly has made me fearless.
So that pitch correct audio was pretty spot on. And if you joined us on the Masked Singer pre-show live stream, 7 p.m. before every show, except for this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, that's totally Nikki Glazer. I'm sorry, it is. It sounds just like her. And the clues match up. So let me go ahead and do a few different things. Let's compare the speaking voice, and then let's compare the singing voice. Take a listen.
Hey y'all, let me tell you something funny. To do what I do, you gotta be cold-blooded.
Hey you, thanks for watching my reality series, Welcome Home, Nikki Glazer, currently on E!
Wish I could say thank you to Malcolm, that the guys go crazy for.
The singing, I mean, yeah, I can see that, but the speaking voice is spot on. Now, let's go ahead and start answering some of these clues. Let me tell you something funny, she says. Well, she's a comedian. Sometimes you gotta be cold-blooded. Well, these roasts are pretty darn cold-blooded because she is in most of the roast and she does a really great job kind of like digging into people. When she's talking about being a bee lizard, I think we all know what she means by being a bee. Well, she refers herself to being a bee sometimes, and she's also been told that she is a bee for some of the comments that she says during these roasts, which I guess is a compliment. You know, the better you are as a roast, the better the joke is, people think it's funny, so on and so forth. So in a way, I guess it kind of is her thing, but she also mentions that she's also the sweetest person ever, and a lot of people, a lot of comments online says they've met her and she is such a sweetheart. So, kind of works out right there. This one I think is kind of funny because sometimes the Masked Singer takes like legitimate quotes from Wikipedia and puts it together and then puts that in the clue package. And so this next one, when she talks about being 18 when she got started and took a tight 2 years to see herself on screen, this is what Wikipedia says. Nicki started performing stand-up at the age of 18. Her first jokes were written in college. She recalled in an interview in a magazine saying, "I remember when I was a freshman in college and everyone in my dorm took over the cafeteria as a study hall. I went there and instead of studying, I looked at them, judged them, and tried to think, what would Sarah Silverman think about these people? I didn't know how to write jokes. I just knew the stand-ups. I knew and I wrote from the perspective of my favorite stand-ups because I didn't know what my perspective was yet." So yeah, 18. She started doing that stuff, and then she started doing a lot of stand-up, which got her on like The Tonight Show and things like that. She said, "Because being a woman, I've had to snowplow my way into a male-dominated industry." Well, the comedian industry had been predominantly known as just a male industry for a very long time, up until like maybe, girls started breaking through, I want to say like maybe 15 years ago. She says, "Things haven't always been pitch perfect. I've had some failures, but bombing widely has made me feel it." Well, her first stand-up special was called Perfect So Perfect there, and then bombing when you're a comedian means you did really, really bad. And then the joke about Nick Cannon, well, once again, she's in roast, so it makes sense. Visual clues, a speed dating sign. She hosted a blind dating TV show called Blind Date, okay. Comic book, well, she's a comedian. And Welcome Matt, well, she was on, was there an reality series called Welcome Home with Nicki? Yeah, so she was on there right there. When it comes to being on stage with superstars like Rob and Ken, well, Nicki has roasted Rob, and Ken were her together on a Comedy Central roast of Alec Baldwin. And just a very interesting fact, Adam Carolla was also on that roast. So, kind of cool. And then the extra clue. For those who don't know, the Yeti was on stage while she was performing. Turns out she's performed with Omarion before. So, hey, full circle. A lot of people all matched up there. Anyway, I want to know, did you guys get it right? Do you agree with my guess? Let me know in the comment section. I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey. Stay safe, guys. See you later. Bye.